Namaste students, I am Madhura and today I am going to start discussing the 5th chapter in your 2nd PU biology syllabus. The chapter name is Principles of Inheritance and Variation. Okay, Principles of Inheritance and Variation. So, it is a genetics. Since you are studying the genetics for the first time, you may go through many unknown terms. Okay, we will be discussing those terms one by one later. So, starting with the chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variation. First, as I told, it is a genetics. So, what is genetics? When we look around us, then you can observe that always a mother elephant, or you can say the adult elephant, give birth to a baby elephant only, not any other animals, right? Like that, if you consider different plants, for example, mango seeds. When you sow a mango seed and get a new plant, that plant will be only the mango plant, correct? Not any other plant. And in some cases, some of the offsprings, or you can say the children or the baby may resemble the parents in some of the characters, correct? But if you consider you and your parents, then there may be some differences between you and the parents, your parents, correct? So, all these things you may wonder why it happens or how it happens, right? For all those questions, you will get the answer in this chapter, that is genetics. Okay. So, first, what is genetics? In simple words, the genetics is nothing but the study of genes. Okay. Genetics is nothing but study of genes. If you elaborate the definition, then genetics is the study of inheritance and variation. Study of inheritance and variation of characters from parent to their offsprings. From their parent to the offsprings. So, study of inheritance and variation. Inheritance and variation of characters from parent to the offspring. Then, what is the meaning of inheritance and the variation? Okay, what are inheritance and variation? First, we are going to discuss about what is inheritance. Okay, inheritance in simple words, it's nothing but the process of transfer of characters from the parent to the offspring. Okay, if you consider the offspring or ನೀವು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಅಂದರೆ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಆಫ್ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್. ಹೌದಾ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದಿ progeny is nothing but inheritance. Here the progeny refers to the offsprings, next generation. Okay, offsprings, progeny or next generation refers to ನಾವು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವಲ್ವ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದೇ ಮೀನಿಂಗನ್ನು progeny ಅಥವಾ offsprings ಅನ್ನುವ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ by which the characters are passed on from one generation to the another generation, or that means parent to the progeny or offsprings. Okay, and next term comes is the variation. Variation. So variation, as the name indicates, variation, differences, correct? So differences. So variation is nothing but degree by which the progeny differ from their parents. Okay, degree by which the progeny differs from their parents. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅನ್ನೇ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದಿ ಯುವರ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು, there may be some similarities in the characters, right? ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಯು ಮೇ ಶೋ ಹ್ಯೂಜ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಹೌದಾ, ಅದೇ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪೇರೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಟೂ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್, ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ genetics is nothing but the study of genes. Okay, study of genes. So as I already told, you may go through some of the new terms here. Those all are the common terms which are frequently used in this chapter or genetics. Genetics alli ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. We are going to discuss those terms now. The first term is gene. Okay, under the genetics also I told that the genetics is the study of gene, correct? So what is a gene? You know that cell, if you consider this is a cell, cell has nucleus, correct? Cell has nucleus and inside the nucleus the chromosomes are present. All these things you have studied in your first year, correct? First year alli kaltidiri nucleus and inside the nucleus chromosomes are present, right? So if you consider single chromosome, consider a chromosome here, ಒಂದು chromosome ಅನ್ನು consider ಮಾಡಿ and just a part of the chromosome, small segment or small part of a chromosome is nothing but a gene. Okay, gene is a part of, or you can say portion of chromosome, or chromosome here refers to the DNA. Okay, small part of DNA that controls the expression and heredity of characters, that controls the expression and heredity of the characters. What is mean by expression of a character? If you have long hair, just take this example, long hair ide antadre this is a character now, and this character is controlled by a gene in us. Okay, so this is a character that is controlled by a gene, and gene is a portion of DNA, nothing but chromosome. Okay, so a small part of the DNA that codes for a character, and this gene is also responsible for the heredity, nothing but transfer of characters from one generation to the another generation is also controlled by the gene. If the gene gets transferred from the parent to the offspring, then this character is also transferred anta heltave. Okay, this is the first term we discussed, that is a gene. Next term is a genome. See here, the genome and the locus, these two are not asked in the exam, okay, like a terms or the definitions, but these two are important to understand the next terms. So I am discussing these two terms here as an extra, but you need to know the meanings of these two first. So first is the genome. If you consider any of the organism, like diploid organism, you say diploid organisms, right? And that diploid organisms, when that produces gametes, okay, when the organisms, any organisms produces the gametes will also have some number of chromosomes, right? In case of diploid, the gametes usually they are haploid, right? So this haploid set of chromosomes present in the gamete of an organism, okay, haploid set of chromosomes present in the gametes of an organism is called as genome. So if you consider the human being, we are diploid and have 46 chromosomes in total, but the gametes produced by the human, they have only n number, that means 23. So what is mean by genome? Now this 23 is the genome now, right? So genome is the haploid set of chromosomes present in the gametes of an organism, that is genome. Okay, next term is a locus. Locus, or in singular it's a locus, in plural it's a loci. Okay, loci is the plural form of locus. Locus in singular, loci plural. So what is a locus? This is a chromosome and this is the portion of DNA that determines the character, and this portion is now called as gene, right? And the locus is nothing but the point or the site on the chromosome at which gene is present. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ನ ಯಾವ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪೊಸಿಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀನ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಪೊಸಿಷನನ್ನು ನಾವು ಲೋಕಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಲೋಕಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎ ಸೈಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್, ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ at which a gene is located. Okay, site or the point on the chromosome at which the gene is located, that is locus, plural loci. These two are just for the understanding purpose. Next term is the alleles. Okay, alleles. See, alleles, before discussing what is allele, if you consider the human, we are diploid organisms, right? That means we have two sets of chromosomes. Alva, diploid organisms now, athwa any diploid organisms if you consider, one set from the father and one set of chromosomes from the mother, right? One from the father and one set of chromosomes from the mother, right? And if you consider one chromosome which is from the father and one more chromosome from this set, that is by the mother. Now these two chromosomes, one is from the father and one more chromosome from the mother, these two are called as homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes. ನಾವು ಏನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಂಬರಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್, that we will discuss later. But these two chromosomes, one from the father, another from the mother, which are called as homologous chromosome. And you consider the genes on these two chromosomes which are same genes. ಓಕೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಜೀನ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ, that controls a character, and at the same position in the another chromosome of the homologous chromosome it has the same gene, maybe small a also, other next discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. So these two genes are now called as alleles. Okay, and these two genes are slightly alternate forms and present on the identical loci, same loci of two homologous chromosomes. ಎರಡು homologous chromosomes na identical loci alli iruvantaha alternative forms or slightly different forms of a gene are alleles. So alleles are the alternative forms, slightly different forms of a gene, okay, of a gene located on the identical loci on homologous chromosomes. This is alleles. Okay, so if you consider the pea plant and height of the pea plant as a character, now if you consider a character like height of a pea plant, this height is a character and is controlled by a gene, right? And that gene has two forms. That gene has two forms. One is capital T and one is small t. Why we are going to write this in capital and small letter? We will discuss later. But these two are the two slightly changed forms of a gene controlling the height. So now these two are the alleles. Okay, these two are the alleles. Next we are going to discuss is homozygous genes. Homozygous genes. Okay, homozygous, homo, similar, homo, similar. That means, again I am considering the character that is height of the pea plant. Now this is a character, height of the pea plant, and you know that gene which control the height of the pea plant, it has two alternate forms. One is capital T and small t, right? So height annu consider maduvanತಹ gene enide, that gene has two alternative forms, nothing but alleles. One is capital T, one more allele is small t, right? So homozygous means when the character, or you can say genes controlling a character are similar. When the genes controlling a character is same, are same, that is capital T, similar genes controlling the height. Or one more is small t, This is again the homozygous condition. That means the genes or the two genes controlling a character, are similar. Okay, when two genes controlling a character are similar or same, like capital T controlling the height of the pea plant, or one more condition, small t, two similar genes controlling the height of the pea plant, then this is the homozygous condition. This is again the homozygous condition. Okay, and the organisms showing homozygous condition or homozygous genes, organisms showing the homozygous genes or homozygous condition are called as homozygotes. Homozygotes are nothing but the organisms having homozygous genes. Okay, these two are the homozygous condition. And next is heterozygous genes. This is the next term we are going to discuss, is heterozygous genes. Heterozygous, hetero, that means different. Different. That means if two genes controlling a character are different, that means when the height of the pea plant is controlled by two genes like capital T and small t. This is the heterozygous condition or heterozygous genes. Okay, when two genes controlling a character are dissimilar or different, okay, then it's heterozygous condition or heterozygous genes. And the organisms which are showing heterozygous genes are called as Navili, homozygotes, organisms showing homozygous genes, same like homozygotes. Here, heterozygotes. Heterozygotes are the organisms showing heterozygous genes or heterozygous condition. This is homozygous condition, heterozygous condition. Next term is dominant gene. Next term is dominant gene. So, we will take the example of same character, height of the pea plant, then when you write the heterozygous condition, okay, when you write or when you take the example of heterozygous genes or heterozygous condition, right, then this plant showing the heterozygous condition is tall, okay, is tall. That means the capital T controls the character tall and small t is responsible for the dwarf. Okay, both refers to the height of the plant. Okay, so the capital T tall, small t dwarf. But in this heterozygous condition, the character of the capital T is expressed, not the character of the small t. Howda? Ee heterozygous condition alli capital T a character express agide. That means capital T control the tall character. Howda? But the small t a character yavdu dwarf, which is not expressed in this heterozygous condition. So now the capital T is called as dominant gene. Capital T is called dominant gene. Why it is called dominant gene? The gene which expresses itself in the heterozygous condition. Heterozygous condition alli ಎರಡು gene alli ಯಾವ gene that can express itself, howda, that can express itself, this gene is called as dominant gene. Okay, so dominant gene is nothing but gene that can express itself in the heterozygous condition. In the heterozygous condition, that gene is called as dominant gene. And remember, always the dominant genes are denoted using capital letters like capital A, capital T, capital S, okay, or capital P. It depends, but all genes are written in capital letters or denoted by capital letters. They are the dominant genes. Next gene or next term is recessive gene. Recessive gene. If you take the same example, the small t, that means dwarf character is not expressed in this heterozygous condition. ಹೌದಾ? ಈ heterozygous condition ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ small t ಯ character express ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದಾ? And this gene is now called as recessive gene. Okay, recessive gene means the gene which can't express itself, in a heterozygous condition. In a heterozygous condition, that is recessive gene. And always recessive genes are written in small letters like small t, small s, small p, small r, okay, small r. So this is how recessive genes should be written, right? So, dominant gene, recessive gene. So, next we are going to discuss the term phenotype. Term phenotype. Again I am taking the same example. Yakandre whenever we discuss the same example, the concept will be more clear. Otherwise, nimgella characters and ommome onnon character example kotre, you may feel difficult to understand. Okay. So, I am taking the example of pea plant height. Okay, height of the pea plant, and which is controlled by two genes, or you can say two alleles, capital T and small t. Correct? So, when the plant is tall, then two genes controlling the characters may be capital T or capital T small t. This is the homozygous condition controlling the tall, and heterozygous condition controlling the height. Okay. Next, if you consider the dwarf plant, then dwarf is controlled by the small t, since the small t or you can say small t is recessive only in this homozygous condition. That means when there is no capital T, then only the dwarf characters can be expressed. Okay. So, phenotype is nothing but, see, the external appearance. External appearance, that means the characters which appear from the outside, or you can say morphology. How the external appearance of an organism is nothing but phenotype. Phenotype is external appearance of an organism. External appearance of an organism is called as phenotype, right? So, external appearance, if you consider the character height is the external appearance, tall character, external appearance, ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ tall ಆಗಿದೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಾರ್ಫ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಗಿಡ್ಡ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುವಂಥ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫಿನೋಟೈಪ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫಿನೋಟೈಪ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೇಮ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟನ್ ದಿ genes responsible for that character. How the genes responsible for that character? That is nothing but the genotype. Genotype. Genotype is nothing but the genetic constitution, or you can say genetic makeup. Genetic constitution or genetic makeup of an individual is genotype. If you consider the phenotype height, or you can say tall, when it is controlled by two genes, I just write like this, or you can say or this one. All the three possibilities are there, and now this is the genotype, that is genetic makeup or genetic constitution of an organism. Okay, ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವಲ್ವಾ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಜೀನೋಟೈಪ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದಿ ಫಿನೋಟೈಪ್, tall is the phenotype, so genotype for the tall or this heterozygous condition. If you consider the phenotype dwarf, then the genotype is small t. And the last term we are going to discuss is true breeding lines. Okay, true breeding lines, or they are also called as pure lines. Okay, pure lines or true breeding lines. True breeding lines are nothing but one that undergone continuous self-pollination. Continuous self-pollination or selfing that shows stable trait inheritance and expression for several generations. Okay, for several generations they show stable trait inheritance. That means no changes in the expression of the characters. ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಏನು generation ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು cross ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ, that means expression for several generations. ತುಂಬಾ generation ವರೆಗೆ ಕೂಡ they show stable trait inheritance. That means they don't show any variation. Okay, same characters ಅನ್ನೇ ತುಂಬಾ generation ವರೆಗೆ ಅದು ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ they are called as true breeding lines. And these true breeding lines or pure lines are obtained from continuous selfing. Okay, plants ಅಲ್ಲಿ continuous self pollination ಮಾಡಿ ಈ true breeding lines ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. Mendel did this. Okay, we will discuss that later. And that pure breeding lines or pure lines, they show homozygous condition for each and every character. Okay, they show homozygous for every trait. Okay, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು character. For example, height consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು homozygous condition. Color of the seed consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು same condition. ಆ ತರ continuous generation, several generations ಗೆ they show stable trait inheritance. They are called as true breeding lines or pure lines. They are homozygous for every character. Heterozygous ಆಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. They are not the hybrids. Okay, heterozygotes are also called as hybrids. Heterozygotes or hybrids, ಎರಡು terms same, but pure lines are homozygous for every trait. These are some of the terminologies we need to discuss at this beginning of the chapter.